The latest news, updates, and more from the world of health and medicine. This is Medical Minutes with Wish TV's medical reporter, Dr. Mary Gillis.
From Wish TV, I'm medical reporter Dr. Mary Gillis, and this is Medical Minutes on the All Indiana Podcast Network. Both the CDC and the FDA have advised states to temporarily suspend administering the Johnson & Johnson coronavirus vaccine because of a rare but potentially deadly side effect. Indiana is one of them. But why such a rush to press pause? And what does this mean for vaccination rollouts moving forward? On this episode, we spoke with Dr. Christopher Doehring, Vice President of Medical Affairs at Franciscan Health, to explain. And our conversation is next. Joining us now is a familiar face, Dr. Christopher Doehring from Franciscan Health. Welcome.
Hey, thank you, Mary. Good to be with you today.
So we have a report out today. The CDC and FDA are recommending the pause on the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. So I'm wondering, they're very rare cases, only about 6 cases that have been reporting of this rare side effect, which is our blood clots. So why such a rush to put a halt to this?
Yeah, I think at this point, they've seen enough of these cases. I think the number's up to 6 in the United States and maybe a few more in Europe. That I think they feel like we do have a good supply of other options in the vaccine, and they want to just take the time necessary here pretty quickly. I mean, I think there's an emergency meeting tomorrow, but to look through the data that we do have, the information we have, and see, what might need to be done in order for us to feel confident with resuming the use of the J&J vaccine.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that perhaps we do have these other 2 vaccines that are out, so why not just take a little bit of extra time, precaution to see what might be going on, even though the number is small. I mean, I know also happening in Europe, or a couple of cases in Europe.
Right.
Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable way to interpret what's going on. Like the processes that are in place to monitor individuals who've received the vaccines, all 3 of the vaccines now, are robust, and they're intended to detect issues as early as possible, and that if we need to, we can, like we're saying right now, pause, take the time needed to do a deeper dive into these individual cases. And to be honest, I think part of the intent is this is a little bit of a different type of clot than what we would typically see with like a clot in the leg or even a pulmonary embolism. And so the treatment options are different. And so really trying to also help reinforce to the provider community that if you were to see one of these cases, just have your antenna up, your radar tuned in to the fact that this could be coming on rare occasions.
How is this different than a typical blood clot? What's the difference here?
Well, so because these clots occur in the brain, the treatment may be different in terms of the types of blood thinners or even interventions that you might use, so you don't worsen a problem in trying to treat it. So that's really kind of what's driving, I think, some of the concern at the CDC and the FDA level. It's just let's take a little bit of time here, make sure people are aware that this is a possibility, incredibly rare, 1 in a million apparently. But even so, we are looking to vaccinate millions of people, including with the J&J vaccine. And so it may be something that is occurring more commonly than we expected.
And Dr. Doehring, I know that the Pfizer vaccine and the Moderna vaccine are different than the Johnson & Johnson in a way. And I'm wondering, because we're also seeing this in the AstraZeneca, is there some sort of ingredient in the vaccine that you might point to, and that they have something in common here, or?
Yeah, and that's again kind of what this time will allow them to sort of step back and again do a lot deeper analysis of what are some of the commonalities. It seems in this particular case, these are younger women who are experiencing this. We're not seeing it in other demographics, other populations. So is it triggering something in the immune system that's leading to this, or is there some other component that's involved? I think the other part that's important, I think, to to keep in mind is what we also don't really know is, does this happen with women who get COVID? Do we see this complication in women who get COVID? And does that happen at an even higher rate? And so there's a lot of different aspects to how they want to analyze this and really truly understand what's going on.
Wow. I mean, I remember we were talking at some point before that, I mean, they could have had this before. This could have been a result of COVID, even if they knew it or not, or
Right.
one of the, conditions that come or side effects of COVID. So we really don't know. It's kind of this maybe bi-directional arrow. We can't really pinpoint it. And then what would you say to those who are, we want people to get vaccinated. That's so important now. And what would you say to those who are now might be all ready to get vaccinated, but are now hesitant because they're seeing this?
Well, so the good news is Indiana has decided to honor that pause, that recommendation. So at the drive-through sites that were being set up by the state and others, we're going to be replacing the J&J for the time being with Moderna, is my understanding. And so it's still we will still have access to vaccination. For the time being, it will be either Pfizer or Moderna. But as the supply has continued to grow, really anyone who wants to be vaccinated should be able to gain access to a vaccine soon. And I think it's also incredibly important to remember those two vaccines are both incredibly safe. We have great proven track records with over 100 million doses given total between the vaccines. And so we should have a very high level of confidence in both the safety and, of course, the efficacy of the vaccines. And, we'll see how long this pause lasts, but hopefully with J&J, we'll get some definitive answers sooner rather than later.
Wow. Well, Dr. Doehring, always great to see you. Thank you so much for your insight and your time.
Yeah, it's good to be with you, and always happy to help understand better what we're dealing with as we go through this pandemic response.
This has been Medical Minutes from Wish TV. I'm medical reporter Dr. Mary Gillis. Be sure to follow and subscribe to this podcast and check out new updates every week. You can also learn more at wishtv.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook.
Learn more and get more with Wish TV. Online at wishtv.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Be sure to check out more great podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.